Chair and Master,
I move adoption of House Resolution 86.
members have heard the motion. Any objection? Hearing none, vote is adopted.
Mr. Speaker.
For what purpose?
Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very important resolution brought by Mr. Levin. I would ask that the conversations could be taken outside the rail so that Mr. Levin can have and the gentleman behind you could have the full attention of the House, please.
House will come to order. Please take the conversation outside the room. Chair recognizes Representative Bennett.
Mr. Speaker, members, thank you, and thank you, Tim. Today, we celebrate what's being called as a Day of Innocence. This is the second opportunity we've had to do that. The Day of Innocence came about because, as most of you know, our system for making sure that only the guilty get punished in Texas sometimes fails. Sometimes it didn't work. And whenever that's happened, members, I hope you're kind of like me. I take full responsibility as a legislator for making sure that the systems work. One of the worst places where the system fails is when a person is sent to death row. And yet what we know today is that there are a number of people who have gone to death row, and yet it was later determined that they were factually innocent, but legally guilty. That should never happen, members. And today, joining us in this chamber are three men who have been sentenced to death row. Only later did we found factually innocent. The first one is Clarence Brantley. Clarence Brantley served 10 years on Texas's death row. This is not a problem, though, that's endemic only to Texas. Because we're also joined today by Ron Keene, who served 2 years on death row in New Mexico. As further evidence, we're joined by Albert Burrell, who spent 13 years on death row in Louisiana. Members, when the system fails, it means we have failed. Because we are the people that Texas looks to, particularly innocent people, to make sure that our system works. And yes, some people will point to the fact that these people are off death row. And so now the system apparently works. But to spend 10 years on death row waiting for the system to work means that you have gone through hell while living here on earth. And so today I ask you to join me, and perhaps we can't give an apology. The only thing we can give is our commitment to trying to do everything we can to make sure that the innocent, no matter whether they're poor, no matter what color, no matter what gender, no matter what geography they come here with, that we ought to make sure that our systems, or at least the kinds of systems, that says if we have to make an error, it will be an error on the side of letting a guilty person go before we imprison someone who is innocent. And with that, Mr. Speaker, members, I would suggest that we pass House Resolution 1809. I would ask that all members' names be added to that resolution, and that from today forward, we make a commitment to ensure that justice is not only for those people that we sometimes don't like, or some people we don't see, or some people we just can't seem to somehow or another even look eye to eye with. But that justice prevails for the rich, the poor, but most of all, for the innocent. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I will pass it.
Members, you heard the motion. Are there any objections? Chair hears none. Resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes Representative Clark.
Thank you, Speaker. Members, I would like to recognize the student we have in the gallery with the 2011 Mercy Street Spring Break College Tour from LG Kingston High School in Dallas. This tour allows the students from the historically underserved part of Dallas to tour 9 universities across our state and our capital. This tour is made possible from the generous support of Mr. Albert Hudson and his wife Mary. They founded the Mercy Street as a Dallas-based Christian ministry to glorify God and transform the neighborhood of West Dallas. Members, please help me welcome LG Kingston High School from Dallas to our capital. Thank you.
Mr. Parker, number 4. Chair recognizes Representative Davis of Dallas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members, I'd like to suspend all necessary rules to take a pass resolution 856.
Members, you heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Chair lays out House Resolution 856. Clerk, read the resolution.
HR 856 by Davis Dallas, commending Jocelyn Socedo for her service as an intern in the Office of State Representative Beyond Davis.
Chair recognizes Representative Davis of Dallas.
I'd like to move adoption, please.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Chair recognizes Representative Guy.
Hey, Ryan. Ken, let's go. I don't know. Where you going?
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend all necessary rules to allow the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence to meet while the House is in session. To carry forward my department to consider pending business. I also move